Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Road to National Master. I almost said Beyond 2000, man. But we got two games here. Because they're both like 20-25 move games. But this game, I hit 2208, man. 2208. Let's go for it, man. E4, my opponent plays E5. And a funny story, actually. I'm looking at my man's account, and I see his profile picture. And it's Bring Back the Sonics. It's the Thunder and the Sonics. And I'm from Seattle, so I was like, yo, you from Seattle? He was like, yes. And then, funny story, my bro from Seattle played him the game before I played him. World's a small place. That is basically what I'm getting at. But E4, E5, I played Knight F3, Knight C6, and you know I'm going straight into that scotch. I also got hella energy right now, y'all, so, just bear with me. Hopefully it's not too much, but, we going over the top. We going over the top. We going over the top. I'm here. Let's go for it, man. He takes, I take, and what are we going to do? He's going to develop. Here, I don't really know the move. I guess I played the right one, Knight XC6. Usually, I'm used to people developing, or taking. And I take, he takes, I develop the bishop. I go and pin his knight up. Because I was nervous. I was thinking about playing Knight C3, but then I was looking at push. I was like, ooh, where do I go with the knight? Do I have to drop? Maybe just drop here. He goes here and then reroute around castle, get the bishop out. I see it now. Now I know Knight C3 is the best move. He breaks the pin, and now I develop the knight to C3. He chops. I take back, and now we're going to go straight into the endgame, and you know me, endgame Mastero. He chops, I trade the queens. I don't want to trade the queens, y'all, but I have to in this position. I have to. He takes back. Now I chop the knight. He can't take my bishop because my knight defends. He takes. Now we go straight into the endgame. Long castle. Rooks are going to be so strong. He castles here, and I just take both open files. Like, look at this, bro. Like, look at this. This is so gross. He kicks away my knight, and now knight F3, and I'm rerouting to one of these squares. Putting pressure here. This is an octopus knight right here. This knight gonna touch 8 squares in the middle of the board. He jumps in, and I just jump my knight in immediately. Hit the bishop, hit the pawn. You cannot take this because I'll just play B3, and you'll have to sack back. So you'll win 2 pawns for the piece, but I'll be up a piece. Your pawn structure is cooked. Now he develops. I bring the rook into the 7th rank with the idea of, okay, you take here, I'm going to take here, and then you will not be able to protect this pawn. Instead, he protects the pawn. Rook B7, and I play F3 now. You are not taking any of my pawns. You are not taking any of my pawns. He kicks away my knight, and now I play knight to B3, putting pressure on this pawn. He chops, and I know what you're thinking. You got to take with the A. You got to take towards the center. No. If I take towards the center, he'll have potential pawn breaks breaking up my structure. But if I play C takes B, you can't push this pawn I take. C takes B, you cannot push this pawn because I take, and then I'll solidify it like this. Strong. Also, your pawns block any open file on my king. You could get rid of one pawn, but let me tell you something. You got another pawn. You got backup. Most of the time you want backup in life, not in this situation. You do not want backup. He drops the rook back. I cash in on a pawn. He gets spunky like this. I take another pawn, up 2 Ponskyanskis. He attacks my pawns, and rook to D2. Check. And I step up to rook to C2. And to end the game, he plays bishop to E8, or rook to B8. Trying to get in again, but I just play rook to D7. And my opponent in this position resigns because I'm threatening to trade or pair rooks. If you go like this, I'll just take. Here, you obviously don't want to trade. And now I think I'll just push A4. That's honestly what I do. I just push these pawns and go win the game. That's honestly how I'm feeling. Maybe I'd give a check, push the king back here, and then push the pawns, just so the king's a little bit further. But that is game 1, but we should do a little game review on that one right there, just to see how well we played, how good we played. We played at a 94.6% accuracy with only one mistake at a 2600 level. I think the one mistake, bishop to G5. I should have just developed the knight. But other than that, we just played a perfect game. We honestly just played a perfect game. Can't say nothing about it. And now we are into game 2. 22-16 on your head top. 22-16 on your head top, man. Let's get it. The English. I almost aborted this game because if you play the English, you are... Nah, let me not hate, bro. The English is a good opening. It's very positional, though. I play F5. I'm like, you know what? Let me just get spunky. We playing the Anglo-Dutch. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't even know if I can play the Dutch against the English. But you know what? I make my own rules. I play that spunky chess. So let's get spunky then. He develops the knight. I develop the knight. He plays d4. And now I play e6. And we have transposed into a Dutch defense Rubinstein variation. He pins me up. I pin him up. I chop. He takes back. And now I play d6. Just get very, very symmetrical. He chops. I got to take back with the queen because I still want to castle short. My opponent develops the knight to f3. I develop the knight to d7. I'm going Fianchetto to Bishop on Kenobi. And we're going to get spunky. Ooh, wee, h4. Sorry, y'all, that got me nervous. Ooh, wee, h4. Ooh, wee, h4. Oh, he's trying to get spunky. I don't want to castle anymore. b6. Bishop b7. Let's get spunky. He plays e3. I jump the bishop into b7. Put it on a nice diagonal. I know y'all heard about that Catalan bishop. But what you know about that Rubinstein Dutch dark square or light square bishop? What you know? The light square bishop on the Dutch defense classical Rubinstein variation is equivalent to the bishop on the white side for white pieces in the Catalan. I know you heard about it, but now you know about it. Let's go. He plays bishop to e2, and I dropped the queen back. Not the best move. I guess the computer wanted the queen here, but I wanted to drop back and put the knight here, just so, because it controls a lot of squares over here. He lashes out a4. I'm like, bro, you're not gonna get, like, what is this, bro? I'm gonna shut it down on this side of the board because, like, you don't have a b pawn to, like, break away at it, so we're cool. He just keeps pushing, and now I'm thinking, do I play h6? I don't really want to because that's extremely weakening because he can just jump in and have, like, a good knight right here. So I play rook to f8. I'm not castling. I also don't want to castle because I don't want to walk into, like, just smoke. I'm planning on castling long. My opponent plays rook to d1, and now I'm like, oh, I know my opponent's not castling. Either way, I'm castling long, though. I'm castling the long way. Rook to h3, and now I'm like, okay, it's time to start opening up the position. f4. If you push, I just take. If you push, I take. Or if you take, I take. He jumps the queen into the business. I'm like, okay, that's not really doing anything. Let's do f takes e. F takes e. And now rook to f5. Put pressure everywhere. Woo! He drops back, and now I play rook d to f. We are attacking stuff. My opponent plays rook to d2. I don't really know what the idea of this move is. But I play e5. I start opening up the position. My opponent shuts it down, but with the idea, when I push this pawn and you shut it down, I was like, now my knight gets access. Knight to c5. Knight to c5, it has access to good squares. This pawn's hanging. That was a good move. This time, I took a little bit of time here because he's hitting my rook. He's threatening to skewer my rook to my king, and then I'd lose it. And I'm thinking, okay, where do I go with this? Do I put the rook here? But then I was like, okay, he'll probably jump the bishop into f3. And no, don't really like that. So let's just play rook to f7. Rook back to f7. Control this file. If this bishop ever moves like here, we just got bow. Pick up your queen. Now he drops the knight back, and I'm like, bro, you know what? That's a free pawn. I'm going to take it. It might be bad because he has an open line here. But he chops a pawn. I seen this from a distance. G5. It looks so beautiful. G5 looks so beautiful because I'm hitting the queen, and I'm threatening a fork here. The only move he can do is queen to e4. But I was thinking, if he goes queen to e4, do I have rook here? Pawn takes, rook takes, hitting the queen. He has to go back, and then I fork. I'd be getting 2 pieces for the rook. No, I wouldn't. I'd be sacking the rook. That was stupid. Just ignore what I just said. He drops back now, and I push the pawn. Big fork on Yodom's piece, and he loses on time. But also, I want to rewind a little bit. He moved the pawn this here. Oh, I moved the rook back here because I was like, okay, if he takes here, I just have g5. And both things are hit. You'd have to drop back. They're saying save the knight is crazy. They're saying do this. Okay. And then we're just up the queen for what? A rook and a... No, just for a rook and a pawn. So we'd love that. But let's go game review on him. We played at an 88.8% accuracy and a 2450. I'm balling. I'm balling recently. 22-16. I'm balling. We kind of cooked up here. I'm not going to lie. We kind of cooked up. Like, we just had the advantage, and we never gave it up. We never gave it up. Okay, instead of taking the pawn here, what was the best move? King b8. Okay, that's just... Okay, yeah. They always want that king b8 move. Okay, this was a mistake, though. What was the best move? King b8 is crazy. Rook g3. Bishop c8. Queen g6. Knight takes. Okay. Okay, we're threatening this. We're threatening this. Bishop here. e4. Oh my gosh. That is just disgusting, y'all. But I hope you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you have a great night, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to me. And shout out to y'all one more time. Appreciate y'all. Deuces.